You know I can't. So hands up, who wants to rock?
Metal Faithful, we are back. This is the Metal Hammer of Doom, and I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. I got my nap in, so I'm ready to go because I'm an old man. Joining me, of course, is the youth of this show. He's the youth of today, as a matter of fact. He's out there with his schooling and his book learning and his metal going and concert. This guy's going to more concerts this year than I have. Fancy that. This man is, of course, the author of the original Hammer of Doom column on 411mania.com. He is Mr. Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
Oh, I do fine. I do fine and dandy. I am somehow the youth of America, and I think the youngest person on this fucking broadcast network, technically. So that's not saying much.
Yeah, we could rename this the Grumpy Old Man Network, and it wouldn't be too far off.
I think we should call it the Rumpelstiltskin Network.
Rumpelstiltskin in broadcasting?
Rumpelstiltskin, yes, that's what we should exactly call it. Because everybody just yelling and complaining about how they hate blank.
Ben Cologne, work on that. I need images. So, okay. We're gonna begin where we should be ending and end where we should begin. We've been off for a couple of weeks now for a variety of reasons. Some having to do with scheduling issues, some having to do with personal issues. But we are back, and we've got a couple of shows lined up here. Tonight we're going to be reviewing the new Korpiklaani album, Noita, which I assume is how it's pronounced. Just taking wild guesses, folks. I don't speak Finnish. So I was telling somebody today that I work with that I was aware of a cover of Mony Mony done in Finnish, and she thought that was pretty hilarious, as did I. And we'll hear that later on. But right now, we've got some business to attend to. So tonight, as I say, we're doing Korpiklaani. Now, in 2 weeks, keep your pants on because, it's very exciting stuff here. We're going to be reviewing the new Faith No More, the first album in like a million years, by a reuniting Faith No More, which I don't understand because I feel people say, the Faith No More reunited. Faith No More have toured the past couple of years. They've played the odd show here or there. So now new material, that's exciting. But let's not get too excited. The band's back together. They've been back together. I feel like for the last couple of years now. I mean, am I wrong about that, or am I on the right track there?
Oh, they have. I have friends that just absolutely sneeze their jeans over Faith No More, and they've seen them. Yeah, they come around every few years, really. They'll do a tour, maybe one or two festivals, but it's not like they've not spoken in the past 20 years or something.
Yeah, this isn't exactly Guns N' Roses or some shit like that, which actually did go away. Besides the fact that Mike Patton never really goes away. Mike Patton may have stopped doing Faith No More, but he has, 1.21 other bands.
18,000 side projects that I have been, pretty much subjected to over the past, 5 years.
Exactly.
Some of it I would definitely say is subjected to.
Yes, we actually, I think, reviewed a Tomahawk album on this very, very show. So we're going to review the new Faith No More on the 28th. And now, skipping ahead, on June 25th, we will be reviewing the Purple album by Whitesnake, which comes out actually May 19th. We're going to hold off on that. The first available time to do that is going to be June 25th. Happy birthday to me. My birthday is actually June 2nd, but nonetheless, That's my birthday present to myself. We're going to be reviewing the new Whitesnake album on this show, the Purple album, which means that June 11th, Mr. Robert Cooper, you have to pick something. You have to dig deep. You have to look at the schedule and go, what do I feel passionate about? What can we review? How can I take advantage of the few times in the year I let you pick an album? And I leave it to you, sir. It's the Pepsi Challenge. It's your choice. Vote with your fingers. What do you want? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I've only mentioned it about, like fucking 10 times. The new Unleashed album.
What do you want to talk about, Mr. Robert Cooper? What are you passionate about? What really gets you going in the morning?
Probably still the new Unleashed album.
What do you want to listen to on this very? How many times can I keep doing this? All right, so not Camelot, not Veil of Maya, not 6 Feet Under. Nope, we're gonna go all the way back to April and do the new Unleashed, huh?
Yes.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. On June 11th, it's Robert Cooper's pick, and I'm putting it into my phone right now. Unleashed. Good God. Unleashed. What the hell is it? Dawn of Nine.
You don't like Unleashed, Mark Radulich?
No, I like Unleashed. I like Unleashed just fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're just going into kind of like the Wayback Machine here, like 2 months or something. Actually, well, no, it won't be 2 months. It'll be like a month and a half.
Really, every show that we do, I'm just biding my time until the new Limp Bizkit comes out.
And I'm biding my time to the new Throthenblood. So, we both have our goals in life. Like, you are going to get, black and folk metal, and I am going to get shitty new metal.
So that takes care of our schedule for the month of June. We'll figure out July when it gets a little bit closer. All right. Before we get into the new Korpiklaani, it's been a while since you and I have rock and rolled. I know you've been busy seeing concerts, doing stuff. Why don't you fill us in here with where you've been at and what you've seen and what you've been doing?
I've been buried in work and school. If I'm not at school at night, I'm at work. So, it's great. Drives me a little crazy, but hey, it pays the bills that the government's going to be sending me in about a year. Yay, student loans. But as for that, I haven't done anything else except for last night. Because if anybody remembers when we reviewed Nightwish, I was like, ooh, they're coming to Charlotte in May. Can't wait to go see them. Well, that was last night. And I have to say, it was well worth the $45. Because that was really, I guess I sound like naive here, but I'm like, God, that was fucking expensive.
Yeah, you sound like my wife. Every year my wife says the same thing. Okay, I'm going to pick on her for a minute while she's sleeping. Every year she says the same thing to me. She's like, I want to go see Dave Matthews. And then she yells at me, okay? She yells at me, Robert Cooper. She raises her voice to me. She says, you always drag me to all these different metal shows. You always get to do what you want to do. You've never once taken me to see Dave Matthews. And I have to stop from turning into a green rage monster. Because every year she has said, I want to go see, she does the same rant and says, I want to go see Dave Matthews. I say, fucking buy the tickets then. Or I'll do it. I don't fucking care anymore. I'll sit through Dave Matthews if it'll shut you up. I'll even more. Speaking of shut up, Sam. We're watching my mother-in-law's dog while they're in Europe. Anywho, yeah. Sam. His name is Samurai, some ridiculous name that she gave him, but it's Sam for short. She did the same thing with the dog previous to him. It was like Jack-O-Lantern or something along those lines, and they just called him Jack. But enough about dogs. I'm not doing a podcast about dogs, folks. So, yeah, my wife's always, buy the Dave Matthews tickets. I'm like, fine, whatever. I don't care. I'll go see Dave Matthews. I mean, how bad could this possibly be? Maybe someone will give me drugs and I won't even have to listen to it. And every year the same thing happens. Then she goes and looks at the ticket prices and goes, oh, my God, these are too expensive. I'm not paying this much money to go see fucking Dave Matthews.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That makes me laugh so much. Because, hey, it was $45. that's not nearly as bad now that I have a job and have a little bit of money on the side to spend. So, you know, I got there a little late. Delane opened up. They're like Nightwish Light. And they were good. They were good. I liked them. They actually have a song that's a duet with Marco from Nightwish. And it was pretty nice. They were a lot better live than what I had heard from YouTube. Because what I had heard from YouTube, I thought I was going to be bored out of my skull. Because they were they're like that kind of like, you know, the symphonic metal bands that are like almost borderline on pop. Yeah, they kind of sounded like that. But live, they sounded pretty well. I liked it. They were really good. It was a nice opener. I was happy they opened. So I was really worried Sabaton was opening. Because if Sabaton opened and I missed a single second of that, I probably would have shot somebody.
All right, so Nightwish went on first and then Sabaton?
No, Delane.
Oh, Delane. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
so how was Nightwish?
No, Nightwish. Oh, I'll get to Nightwish. Nightwish went on last.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the headliners. But Sabaton went on next, and needless to say, I was as happy as a clam. I mean, I was just over the moon. I was singing with every song. I was hopping around, headbanging like crazy, just clapping along. I was their little monkey, and I absolutely loved it.
Is it true that all Sabaton songs are about Joachim's penis?
That was great. They might be. That was a very funny link that Jesse sent. I think they might be. Let's see. They played The Art of War. I'm assuming that means The Art of War in the Sheets. What else did they play? Ooh, Ghost Division. I don't really know how we can get his wiener out of Ghost Division. Let's see. I don't know. But yeah, that was a very funny link. But actually, it was funny. Somebody yelled at him, "You look like you're in the Village People." And he's like, "Oh, really? Really? By the cops or something?" He's like, "Oh, do you want me to do YMCA?" Everybody's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Really? We're gonna stop right here and do the YMCA?" "Yeah, all right." And apparently they've done stuff.
We support this.
Apparently
the YMCA.
Oh yeah, we were doing the YMCA and everything. Like, they were really fun guys, like, between the songs, and like they were fun on stage. They're really, really energetic and a lot of fun. I'm bummed you didn't get to go see them, Mark Radulich, because I know they were in Florida, but I know you had things to do. But yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were so
been busy.
Yeah, but they were. Yeah, like Joachim actually said, he's like, he's like, this amount of support is insane. We are the support band on a Wednesday night in the middle of May, and you guys, like we I think we were actually more excited. Like, the crowd was louder for them than Nightwish. Like, because like we were chanting Sabaton, Sabaton, just over and over, like all throughout the set, and before the set, and after the set, and it was nuts. There was a guy with a sweet
Here's
flag.
Here's the question that's on everyone's mind. Did they play any covers?
No. No, they did not play any covers. They played Ghost Division, let's see, Night Witches, To Hell and Back, Swedish Pagans, The Art of War. Ow, that hurt. I just kicked something. What else? They play Careless Rex. The last song was Metal Crew.
They didn't play in the Army now? You should have demanded they play in the Army now.
That would have been great. No, I don't think they really had enough. They only played 8 songs, which not really a whole ton, but it was still a great time. And they played, but hey, actually, they played like I don't know, like 10 notes from the YMCA. That counts.
Did you know they covered an Amon Amarth song, "Twilight of the Thunder God"?
Did you know that was the opening song on our first covers podcast?
Probably at the time.
Yeah, because you were like, I remember you played. You're like, holy shit, that was great. Where the hell is that from? Yeah, that was the song I opened with.
You can't expect me to remember stuff from 2 years ago. That's ridiculous.
That wasn't even 2 years ago. That was 1.
You can't expect me to remember things past last month.
Okay, I know you're getting kind of old there, getting long in the tooth and gray in the hairs.
That's right.
Yeah, but they were just absolutely great. I called up my buddy Nick. I'm like, Nick, next time Sabaton's in town, you're coming. I'm dragging you. So I brought another friend of mine.
So let me ask you a question. Is your mom letting you go to more concerts now? I mean, I feel like, you've been to a few now this year. Because when I first started talking to you and first started doing the show, you were holed up in your room. You hadn't seen like, the sky in years. You didn't know what year it was. You just never really went outside and talked to people. And now you're going to all these concerts. Is this going to be like a new thing for you? Have you found, a new part of life where you go to concerts and you get to be, in social situations?
Maybe. I mean, you do have to remember last year, in the span of 3 months, I missed Amon Amar's Sabaton, Skeleton Witch, Death, Obituary, Massacre, all because I was told no. So I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. But I feel like I'm getting somewhere as long as I can do well in school, which, I've managed to turn in a late final and teacher didn't take it, so that's not good. But I don't know. I guess now that I'm working more, and as long as I keep up with everything in the house, maybe, because we've got Deicide coming in June, Symphony X and Overkill are in October. We're not really getting that many good shows around here, though. That's the thing. So it annoys me. Like the Tremont. That Tremont was beautiful. That place is nice. At great security, everything.
I'm going to I'm going to two concerts. I'm going to two concerts this summer.
Is one of them Mayhem Festival?
No, Mayhem is actually not coming to Florida.
At all?
No, I've checked the schedule several times. It was really funny, actually. As I said to my wife, I was like, I want to go to Mayhem Fest this year. It's King Diamond and Slayer, at the top. And she was like, listen, you're already dragging me to one concert. Can we please not do this one too? I mean, enough's enough. And I was like, well, all right, for you, we'll forego it this year, but, next year we got to go. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And then I looked at the Mayhem schedule. And I was like, not coming to Florida. I'm like, whew, what a sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, Slayer and King Diamond are the top two. And then the rest of the card is very blah.
It's not great.
It's very mediocre. It's very mediocre, in my opinion. It's not even like when I went, they had, bands like In Flames and Red Fang, kind of thrown throughout the undercard to keep, the regular, I guess, the older crowd, I guess, people are 20, 21 and up, satisfied. But now it's really, really a whole bunch of core bands.
So I'm going to see on July 20th. Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, it's more or less feeling like a really a heavy version of Warped Tour.
All right, I'm going to see Slipknot, Lamb of God, and As I Lay Down. Bullet for My Valentine. One with Motionless in White, I've never heard of.
Oh, no. Motionless in White.
But you know what else I'm going to see? Speaking of my wife and Dave Matthews, I got her tickets to go see Say Anything.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of
them. Listen, someday may you be blessed with a wife and children, and you have to go see shitty music too.
Well, hey, if I get to drag her to a great concert like Sabaton and Nightwish, which I'm still not done talking about, because I haven't even gotten to Nightwish. That's the fun. Yeah.
All right, get to Nightwish already.
Okay. Well, I'll finish Sabaton. Sabaton, they were great. Their merch was really high. I'm wearing the Heroes shirt, with the main cover with the American soldier punching out the German one. It's a really nice soft shirt, but it was $30. All their shirts were $30 and up. I was like, fuck me. But Nightwish, their shirts were $10, which I actually got Sean one, so I'm going to be sending him one sometime this week.
You didn't buy me anything.
Well, I didn't think you were really...
Why are you buying gifts? Why are you buying gifts for my Long Road to Ruin host, Sean Comer, and then you don't buy me nothing?
Because Sean introduced me to Nightwish, really, but I was going to buy you something, but then I'm like, I don't think you like Nightwish. At least not that much.
I love it. What are you talking about? I love Nightwish.
Oh, well, maybe next time.
No, you suck.
Yeah. Yeah, because actually I almost whiffed on the shirt size, too. Thinking the highest I went was XL. I got lucky there.
All right, go on.
Nightwish. Yeah, Nightwish they were really good. Though I would say they were almost like they were a lot more, what's the word for it? So serene than Sabaton. Sabaton are really, loud and in your face and a lot of fun and really catchy and stuff. Nightwish, they're much more symphonic in nature, so they're not as high energy, but they had some really good songs. Floor Jansen is absolutely dreamy. Oh, she's so beautiful. And she's really tall. She's like 6 foot
is
something.
She? Wow.
Yes, I think she's 6 foot. And I was like, oh, wow, she's so beautiful. Oh, yeah. I wasn't really super close. I was towards the front, but I was really in like the, kind of like the back, not back, kind of like the back of the right. It's really hard to kind of describe. Like, I had full vision of the stage. It was great, but it was a packed house. It was tons of people. I'm like, wow, is this how it is to be? Is this how a concert is with a popular band? Yeah, and I have to say, the fans of Nightwish there's a lot of really attractive women, and a lot of underage women, and a lot of lace, corsets, and frills. So like,
were there a lot of big girls wearing corsets they shouldn't have been wearing?
I didn't see any big girls wearing corsets. I mean, I saw some big girls, but not any wearing corsets, which I've seen enough of those in my day. Then again, I've seen even more big girls wearing Slipknot shirts. That was in high school. So many of them. But yeah, Floor Jansen was dreamy. The band played really well. They were a lot of fun. They played a lot of new stuff, but they had a few older selections that were really great to hear. And they won me over by the end because I liked Nightwish, but I wasn't nearly as excited for them as Sabaton, and I felt like I came away from that part of the concert liking them even more. It was a great show. It was a fun time, well worth the money. I would say I would recommend the tour if anybody can see it, but tonight's the last night, so yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I was so happy to be able to go and drive down there and bring a friend of mine who didn't need to spend money. He ended up blowing like $50 on merch too. He's like, how many Sabaton albums do you have? I'm like, 2. He's like, all right, when you go back to my place, we're going to put them on my computer. And then I emailed him this morning. I'm like, yo, man, you left your phone box in my car. So you got a phone cover, a Sabaton phone cover. And he's like, I just bought 3 CDs last night. I'm like, aren't you out of work, like right now? Yeah, but it's all good.
That's good decision making right there.
Yeah. He's like, I got $200 in my bank account, and he hurt his shoulder. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, as long as you can get back to work. But yeah, because they were charging like $20 for the CDs. I'm like, that's really high. And he's like, no, that's not bad. I'm like, dude, you don't know how I get CDs for like somewhere between 2 and 5 on a regular basis. $20 is kind of ridiculous. But I mean, I know merch is like how a lot of bands make their money. Like, I know there's no money in CD sales at this point, and there's no money in the actual touring. It's all about the merch.
Yeah, whenever I go to a concert, especially like the opening bands, if there's oh my God, Def Leppard is playing with Styx and Tesla. If I like some of the opening bands, I'll actually go and buy a T-shirt or something, because I know that like that's basically how they're going to eat while they're touring, and I'm cool with that. Like there used to be a day where I would actually buy the CD because you really couldn't find it anywhere else, and unless you bought it at the show. That is no longer the case.
Yeah, so, I might have to start doing that with opening bands because I don't go to that many concerts because the ones I've been to recently is like my buddy's Nick's Avalon Steel show. Like, they were all pretty much on the same level, so I didn't spend any money. But, like, this show, I bought the Sabaton shirt because, 1, it's hard to find a Sabaton shirt, and 2, I'm absolutely in love with the band, so I'll give the money. And the rest of it, I was like, okay, Nightwish, $10. Usually I still kind of hope that things will be cheaper at the concert because some bands will cut you a deal on it, and some of them won't. Like that Napalm Death show, damn. Still wishing I would have bought that Voivod shirt instead of the Napalm Death one. Because Napalm Death is just very basic. It just says Napalm Death in white letters. That's it.
Right.
I was like,
I bought my Primus T-shirt. Now, mind you, he's 1 and doesn't know what Primus is. But Daddy insisted that he have at least one metal T-shirt since he's outgrown his metal onesies that he's got. So I got him I got him a Primus T-shirt, and it's the Primus logo, the guy with the logo, and he's holding a bottle and it says "Suck on This," which of course was the name of a Primus album.
Yeah.
I think I want to go to this. I want to go see I think I might want to go see Camelot and Dragon Force at the Ritz in Ybor in December. What do you think about that, Robert?
We are going to get that concert down here, or up here, really. Yeah, I might go to that, because Camelot's usually, they're a solid show, and Dragon Force, they've won me over. It'd be really cool to hear that guitar wizardry live. I think that'd be pretty cool.
My wife had like the most fun time seeing Dragon Force and seeing the guys, with the hair and the wind machines.
The hair and the wind machines. Yeah, they do have a lot of hair and a lot of wind machines.
All right. So Rockstar Mayhem, I think, is coming to North Carolina. I'm checking that out now, and then we're actually gonna, do what we said we were going to do tonight, which is actually talk about this album.
Because I was about to say, I'm like, I was thinking, I'm like, well, we could just like call it audible, be like, yeah, Mark, we're just gonna do an entire podcast about this concert.
I'll just talk concert for an hour and a half and then go to bed. I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I don't know who booked this fucking tour, but they basically said like we're going to 3 states, but we're going to hit every city in 3 states. So check out the tour for Rockstar Mayhem. Headliners Slayer and King Diamond, I believe it is. Okay. So it starts in Chula Vista, California. Then San Bernardino, California. Then Mountain View, California. Then Southeast Auburn, Washington. Nampa, Idaho. Well, they're going to fucking Idaho, okay? But they're not coming to Florida.
Idaho.
Phoenix, Arizona. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Morrison, Colorado. Council Bluffs, Iowa, okay? Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Noblesville, Indiana, Clarkston, Michigan, Tinley Park, Illinois, Toronto, Ontario. All right, now Camden, New Jersey at the Susquehanna Bank Center, Burgettstown, Pennsylvania, Hartford, Connecticut, Holmdel, New Jersey, Guilford, New Hampshire, Bristow, Virginia, Mansfield, Massachusetts, Wanto, New York, so they're playing Long Island, Atlanta, Georgia, New Braunfels, Texas, the Woodlands, Texas, and Dallas, Texas.
How do you go Long Island, Atlanta? It's like they are like, okay, let's start in California. All right, now let's make our way up. So now we're going to go over, and we're going to keep going over. All right, then when we hit the Northeast, we're going to hit some dates there, and then we're going to throw the South a bone by giving them 4 dates. Fuck your asshole.
Well, in their defense, there's at least 3 days. There's 3 days off between the Long Island show in Georgia, and a day off between Georgia and Texas. So, yeah. All right. So that's June 26th through August 2nd. So, yeah, if you don't live in any of those areas, guess what you're not seeing this year?
Yeah, I mean, whoever's been booking them, they fucking suck.
I mean, I wanted to see three. I mean, Slayer, King Diamond, hell yeah. I wanted to see all them. And then they've also got Jungle Rot, which I would have liked to have seen. And that's it. Yeah, I mean, this is not the world's greatest lineup I've ever seen. Kind of a blah tour, certainly in comparison to some of the years past. But, I mean, there were definitely some bands I was interested in, so I'm a little bummed about this. But, as my wife said, sometimes, you gotta let some things go, every once in a while. So instead, I'm going to go see Slipknot, Lamb of God, and Bullet for My Valentine.
Still, whoever booked that tour should be, like, punched. Like, they've skipped North Carolina for, like, the past, when I saw it, I think it was 2012, maybe? Or was it 2011? It's been a long-ass time. I'll say that.
So there's 11 tracks on this Korpiklaani album, okay? This is called Noita, which apparently means witch, who is closer to shaman, witch doctor, or medicine man. And would it be wrong of me to just play Jouni Jouni over and over again, like 11 times? Can we just do that?
I was still waiting for you to reference Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't go there.
Let's get into this. This is their latest album. It came out, I believe it was May 5th here in the U.S. Clocks in at just under an hour, 50 minutes, 30 seconds. It's a fun album. I'll enjoy kind of breaking it down with you tonight. Though one thing I'm afraid of is after a while, I feel like this is going to be one of those shows where it's just like, yep, sounds like a Korpiklaani album. Next. So let's keep that.
Yeah. We're going to hit, it's probably going to hit the Children of Bodom factor. I feel like that's almost like what we can call it at this point, like the Children of Bodom effect. Like, good album. I can't really say much more.
So, all right, this one is, I feel like the name of the song should have been called Vitamin Pie, but it's actually like Vinamayan Meese. I don't speak Finnish. I'm sorry.
Hey, hey, hey. Sen mä muistan aina varmaan. Katsoin merta loputonta. Kädessäni mariverta. Rappaa sain Italian pojana aloitetta. Saksalaiselta. Kitkerä kaskero tuolla assistipata. Kun rapuloita vapinoita kavastaa. Hei, hei, hei. Olen minä mäenmies. Koko rata raita ja kaidalla mies. Hei, hei, hei. Ja ies koivuta aika kun kuumasta viso joka ainoa mies. Hei, hei, hei. Olen minä mäenmies. Koko rata raita ja kaidalla mies. Hei, hei, hei. Ja ies koivuta aika kun kuumasta viso joka ainoa mies.
So I'd like to throw a shout out there to super fan of this show, Jesse Starcher. He just wrote that there's no better way to start an album than with hey, 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 and I agree.
No,
I'd also like to throw in there, there's no better way to start an album than that said, hey, what's going on? And hey now, and hey, it's Fat Albert.
See, I was waiting to go, hey, hey, hey. Like, I was really wanting to do that very badly. I decided against it.
Hey, and break into something Finnish.
I'm just imagining Fat Albert on an accordion. Like him and the Cosby Kids are fucking jamming it out.
Hey. Yeah, that's awesome. Now I have an image of Fat Albert playing the accordion. Benjamin Cologne, have your next sketchbook Sunday or whatever it is. Sketch Saturday. I want Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids playing the accordion.
There you go. See, we're giving him all sorts of work. We already got Grumpelstiltskin
and broadcasting.
Yeah, the Grumpelstiltskin and Broadcasting Network, and really, we should just have the Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids dressed as Korpiklaani. Let's be real here. Just looking like a bunch of wayward hopes.
Work on it. All right. So what did you think of that first track?
I thought it was a good opener. It was kind of what I was expecting. It's a lot of fun. I don't think I liked it as much as the opener for the last album, because I actually own that album, and it's a really good one. I like it a lot. It's called Melon Manala. I thought that was a really fun album. But I feel like this is exactly what I was expecting. It's, like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a sign of things to come.
Okay, here's my one complaint about Korpiklaani. They haven't done a song about liquor since Ukan Waka, which was their 2011. I mean, no, a lot of their songs, like if you go back, I'm actually going through their catalog right now. Okay, it's going all the way back to Spirit of the Forest, their first one, right? They actually put a lot of songs in English. And like the one that everyone knows from this one is Wooden Pints. But there's a couple of really good ones here, and half of it's in English and half of it's in Finnish. And then they go on to Voice of the Wilderness, and it's almost all in English. And of course, this one had the very popular Beer, which as people may remember, is what my wedding party walked into at my wedding, into the reception.
I remember.
with by the way, with steins of beer. We were very classy. So that's two in a row there. Then we get to Tales Along This Road, right? Starts off with Happy Little Bruiser, one of the greatest fucking songs I've ever heard in my life. I think Happy Little Bruiser might be this. I think Happy Little Bruiser actually might be the song that got me into Korpiklaani. But again, this is another one where almost all of it's in English. And I feel like these were much more accessible albums. So Tales Along This Road, that's the same one again. Then we go into Tervascanto, right? Let's Drink, Running with the Wolves. And I think that's it. And again, where half of it's in English, half of it's in Finnish. Then we have Corvin Kuningas. With this one, I want to say, where is it? All right, again, a lot of it's in Finnish, but there's definitely some English songs on here. Keep on Galloping, Northern Fall, Shall We Take a Turn? Nothing in English about being drunk though on this one. No liquor songs there. Karkello, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so Karkello has vodka. No, wait, yeah, vodka, which I think is what like blasted Korpiklaani into like semi-mainstream popularity. I think that's the one most people have heard. They also have Bring Us Pints of Beer, which is an amazing song and needs to be played at every party. But again, they're still doing English and Finnish songs here. And then we get to Ukan Waka, Manala, and Noita, this latest one, and it's almost all in Finnish. But at least Ukan Waka had tequila. The rest of it's in Finnish, mind you. The rest of it's in Finnish, but at least they had tequila on there. And a cover of Iron Fist by Motorhead. So, I mean, what's your opinion on that? I mean, do you think that, these last two albums were less accessible because they were all in Finnish, or do you think it gives the band more of an identity, that they're just saying, to hell with our American and, English listeners, we're going to do albums in our native tongue now?
No, I feel like it's I feel like it's almost like part of their gimmick at this point, something like that. Because I guess it's them being more Finnish or something. I don't know. I don't particularly mind them not having English songs since I'm just used to them playing in Finnish the whole time. But yeah, I mean, they had I think it's like English versions of their last. I think the last album actually had an English version, something like that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think it did. And it was plenty of fun. I thought it was Like I said, that was a great album, and I like that kind of gimmick that they had rolling with it, how they had like a Finnish version and an English version, kind of like Sabaton's Careless Rex had a Swedish version and a English version, which I thought was really neat. But I don't know, it doesn't really matter to me as in like what language that it's in, as long as it's fun. I guess the sound fits more with the Finnish lyrics, but otherwise, it doesn't bother me too much.
The songs I've heard where they wrote it, I would tell you the songs I've heard where they wrote it in Finnish and then re-recorded it in English. The English version didn't quite sound as smooth. All right, let's go to track 2 here.
Weird. It sounded weird, but we need more booze songs.
We do need.
Seriously, like
I don't care if they're going to be in Finnish, but they have to be singing more about booze. They've got vodka, they've got a couple of songs about beer. Where's the gin song?
Yeah, when are they going to cover slow gin or cold gin or
there we go.
Gin and juice?
There we go. Korpiklaani, gin and juice. Work on it. Get Ben Cologne on the artwork. All right. This is track 2.
You're on rags by the time he's done with us.
Yeah, I've never asked Ben to do anything until tonight. This is Pili on Pujusta Teddy. I don't even know if he listens to this show. I know he listens to Long Road to Rome, and that's how he ends up doing title cards. I don't know if he listens to anything else. So here I am, like, Ben, work on it. Like, I'm fucking, who knows if he'll ever hear this. So that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was a plenty fun song. Yeah, I could dig it. There's the review of it. That was plenty fun. I could dig it. Not the worst thing in the world.
It's not the worst thing in the world. I have to say, this is definitely one of the more upbeat albums, even if it is all in Finnish. I don't recall necessarily the previous albums, them keeping the tempo up. Them keeping the tempo up with every song. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I have to go back and listen to the last couple, but I definitely feel like they were really heavy on the accordion on this one, and very much keeping sort of a party tempo going. And speaking of tempo, what rhymes with tempo? Lempo. song sounds like hobbits trudging towards Mount Doom.
I could hear it. Yeah, I could definitely hear the little hobbit feet stepping.
It just felt like a puppet marching song.
It's not like you said a puppet marching song?
Hobbit marching.
I don't know. It's kind of hard for them to march, I think. Those tiny feet.
Why? Because they have short, stubby legs?
Yeah, I feel like marching would be very counterproductive for them. Not like a trudge.
But, I mean, you saw Lord of the Rings. I mean, I think Sean Astin and, what's his face? What was his name? Who played for? Who? Elijah Wood. Yeah. So I think Elijah Wood and Sean Astin trudged very well on screen. They did a good trudging.
Yeah, I can dig it.
You ever see the old Bass and Rankin Return of the King, where they're marching with the orcs and they sing "Where there's a whip, there's a way"?
That's funny.
It's horrifying. Let's talk about happier things. This is track 4. This is Sadi.
Kuusen kuudesta sulasta, Kanervalan sannikosta. Pane päivät päälle yksin, altaista makunikulta. Synnyssystäni hyvissä, hymysaaren santiivissa. Saksi, kannusta kadetaan kaljaa. Kannatettavasti saaren saksi, kannon kalja. Suomessa tulinen, iltamme saksi. Kannusta kadetaan kaljaa. Kannatettavasti saaren saksi, kannon kalja. Suomessa tulinen, iltamme. Suomessa tulinen, iltamme.
If you ever have the opportunity to see this band play live and they play that song, I guarantee you a vicious mosh pit's going to break out.
Oh, I'd fucking mosh to that. Which, that
Would
was
you?
one thing about that show. Oh, I would. I'd consider it. I mean, hey, last night I didn't even have a chance. There wasn't even a mosh pit. It was so packed, and Sabaton and Nightwish aren't exactly moshing music.
Well, but I have seen people mosh to Nightwish. Trust me.
How?
On that one. They. All I'm telling you is when I saw them in Orlando, a mosh pit did break out.
Okay. I mean,
Not
I could
for whatever reason, Owen moshed to Epica. That one people were content to just headbang, and dance and groove. But for whatever reason, Nightwish, people went fucking nuts.
all right.
I
like Nightwish. I wish I could go see Epica. They're pretty awesome.
But that's Sadi, that track 4 there. That's the jam right there. That's where that's going to get people smashing into each other. And wait a minute, when did you start moshing? For the birth
I got no mosh pit once. Oh, it was a very small concert. It was like a fucking 5-person mosh pit, and it kind of sucked. Because it was this one kid that kept fucking...
Your moshing's not your thing. That's you're a lover, not a fighter, and you don't mosh.
I really not much for moshing. Really, I had no choice because I was right at the front of the stage, and this fucktard kept running around the small crowd. It was only like 30 people at the venue, but there was this fucktard that kept starting a mosh pit every single song. So I kind of appeased the guy for like the first few times because there were like 2 people. I'm like, all right, I'll jump in there. Then after about the 3rd song, I'm like, all right, fucker, that's enough. This is annoying. So eventually I just started kind of shoving him away.
Yeah, I hate when I hate when people become like the annoying neighbor in a mosh pit where it's just like they hit you once or twice and you're like, all right, I'll give you have it your way. And you bump into them a few times, like, there, are you satisfied? And it's like, can I have a cup of sugar? Can I borrow your lawnmower? Can I borrow your VCR? I need the double tape. They just keep coming back to you. Like I'd like to enjoy the concert now. Go away.
A VCR. I love VCRs. You get a lot of good things on tape. I'm saying.
There's a contingent of our audience who did not understand what I just said. What is dub tape? What does that even mean? Does it have anything to do with dubstep? And then there are old people listening to this going, did he just mention VCRs? I haven't heard that since Carter was in the White House.
Hey, at least I didn't start talking about books on tape. I almost bought some Star Wars books on tape from the Salvation Army around here. I should have.
If you start finding books on tape, like physical books on tape and not an Audible account, I'm going to come to North Carolina and have a conversation with your mother about how you're spending your money.
What? You have something against books on tape?
I have something against out-of-date technology, yes.
Oh, and you're the one that's pining first. You're the one that's pining after the damn VCR.
I was making a point about annoying nosy neighbors borrowing things. That's all I was doing. I was not pining for anything.
You're like, I love you, VCR.
Are you kidding? Dude, that's how little you know me. I think the DVR, first of all, we have penicillin, we have the internet, but I think the greatest invention man has ever come up with is the DVR. And it's funny because I don't even use it anymore. Because now everything is, you can stream. So, for example, let us say I miss the latest episode of The Big Bang Theory, America's favorite comedy, number one in the rating, year long.
Right, I'm sure.
It is. The kid,
I know it is.
Dead. So let's say I missed The Big Bang Theory. I can just go on CBS.com the next day and watch it. So it's really the DVR has become pointless. But I still periodically if I movies that I need to watch for Long Road to Ruin. Yeah. I'll check to see if they're going to be on cable at some point, so I don't have to rent them or anything. And that's where the DVR really earns its money, earns its keep. All right. So yeah, the DVR, greatest thing ever invented. All right, this is track 5, and we are vastly approaching Mony Mony, which I can't wait for. I'm gonna play the whole thing. This is Luan Tony. What you can't ignore in a Korpiklaani album is their use of the polka element. You can definitely hear polka music somewhere in there, and I wasn't really aware. I might look it up now. I wasn't really aware of whether or not polka was even big in Finland. Like, obviously it's big in Poland, but it's funny to me, like, how much polka music has an influence on Korpiklaani's albums.
Yeah, I can definitely hear it. I wonder if Weird Al is a big Korpiklaani fan. He should be.
He should be what?
Weird Al should be a big Korpiklaani fan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What is that in the background?
I keep playing chess.
Stop playing chess.
I'm definitely listening.
So, yeah, I just did a Google search. I did a Google search for polka Finland, and actually, some YouTube videos came up. Something called Holly Dolly Dolly Song Finland Polka came up. Levin Polka is a popular Finnish song with lyrics written in the early 1930s. So yes, apparently polka is big in the Finnish culture. So there you go. That would explain some of what we're hearing.
That it would. It definitely would. So yeah, they do. Like I said, they're doing. What?
It's a good contribution there, Robert.
I mean, what do you expect me to do? You expect me to whip out like my Finnish history book or something? I don't know. The first thing about. I just work here.
All right. I want to see what Luentani actually means. What does that mean? Luentani. Let's look at the lyrics. This is great podcasting, by the way. Me looking up the lyrics.
Yeah, that is the best thing you can ever find.
Oh, shoot. Can't find it. Oh, well. Let's move on to the next one, then. But, yeah. So, you learn something new every day. Polka in Finland. All right. Track 6. This is Mina Nain Vedessa Neldon. All right. That's probably the worst song on here. A little boring. A little blah.
All I keep hearing is things about baklava.
So, here's a headline for you. Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris, is now 17 and a metalhead, and they have a picture of her wearing a Metallica t-shirt.
I saw that earlier. And my thoughts were like, oh, cool, she's a metalhead. And then I'm like, wait a minute. what are our favorite bands? I was like, okay, Metallica and Motley Crue. That's it. Like, I guess. I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes you a metalhead. See, when I look at a band like, oh, yeah, your favorite band's Metallica. Well, that's great. And then I'm like, well, how much do you like Metallica? And then if you say, like, I like Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, I love that song. And then if you're like, oh, yeah, and Master of Puppets, I'm like, all right, I see where we're going here.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always cool to, like, there are people that don't really like metal. They like metal okay, and if they like a few mainstream bands, I'm like, okay, that gives me somewhere to try and get them into something else. But I'm never like, yeah, they're a metalhead. No, like, I always consider the metalheads, like, at least has a kind of a idea of the broad genre of metal, something. But I mean, it's cool that
maybe
cool that
the
the
kids
kids
late,
get
and
into it.
she's got like a huge like death metal collection, but you're trying to get this article read by as many people as possible, so you stick with what people know.
This is very true. Yeah, for all we know, she is the person that's been like outbidding me on all these really rare metal albums for dirt cheap prices. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. We know Paris Hilton is the one, not Paris Hilton, I'm sorry, Paris Jackson. Same thing. Paris Hilton, too. We know they both outbid me on that Mayhem, Death Crush, Death Like Silence release on vinyl or something,
What was the Paris Hilton was actually like a huge metal fan? Like you're in the store one day, and you grab like a Veil of Maya album, and she grabs it at the same time as you, and you guys lock eyes, and suddenly you realize you're looking at Paris Hilton.
I would never grab a Veil of Maya album.
Okay, what if it was Sabaton?
Oh, now we're talking. I don't know what I would do with myself. I'd probably be like in shock and awe, and like, huh. I didn't see this coming.
You didn't see that coming? All right. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is the highlight of the show. This is the highlight of the album. This makes up for the fact that there is no booze song on here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a cover of Tommy James and the Shondells, Mony Mony.
Lumi hanki potikka ja sauna viittaa. Minut nousi kylän pousi pakkasesta. Kun se saapui, minä vaapuin terassilla. Sanoin paskama
get fucked. Remember when you were in junior high and they would play that song and, and all the kids would yell it out and the parents would look on disapprovingly?
Yeah, I didn't know that you did anything about fucking, really. Maybe
What?
I just kind of missed the... Yeah, I didn't know about that. I don't really know the song that well. I just know the song.
Are you kidding me? I actually forgot Billy Idol covered this. Like, I've never heard of this by somebody saying, oh, yeah, Billy Idol.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, but that is a really fun cover. That is what I'm going to have to whip out at random times. Be like, hey, guys, want to hear something you thought you'd never hear in your life?
When so I'm on the Mony Mony Wikipedia page, and I'm looking at formats and track listings. There's a US 12-inch vinyl, Mony Mony Hung Like a Pony remix.
It's so clever.
Now I'm obsessed with this. I need to hear the Mony Mony Hung Like a Pony remix. What's going on here?
I think somebody's hung like a pony. That's the first thing I can probably guess.
And there's Mony Mony Steel Toe Cat Dub.
That sounds bad.
This is all very important to me. All right. The UK 7-inch vinyl actually has Dancing with Myself on it. I'm dancing with myself.
How appropriate.
Wasn't Billy Idol in a Adam Sandler film and someone yelled, "You can't do that" to Billy Idol?
I don't know. I'm not the biggest Sandler buff. I like Adam Sandler.
I liked Adam Sandler 30 years ago.
Well, yeah, I haven't watched any of his movies in a very long time, mainly because the newer ones are just that damn bad. They're the equivalent of having to take shit and there's a line at the bathroom.
So, our next covers show, I'm just going to pick Mony Mony like 5 times. Is that okay? Can I do that?
As long as it's not Lil Wayne doing any Lil Wayne songs, it'll pass.
All right, let's go over to the covers project and see how many versions of Mony Mony there are. Mony Mony. Okay, the Tommy James and the Shondells song Mony Mony was covered by Billy Idol. All right, that's one. The Tommy James and Shondells song Mony Mony was covered by Amazulu. What the hell is Amazulu?
I don't know. I guess you're just going to have to find out next time.
Amazulu looks like a black chick.
Well, maybe she's a black chick. You don't know.
All right. Who's Amazulu? Follow the bouncing ball on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
Yes.
Amazulu. What's the band? Okay, Amazulu. I got it right here. Amazulu were a British ska pop band from the 1980s. Composed of 5 women and 1 man, they achieved success in the UK charts with 4 top 20 hits, the biggest of these songs being Too Good to Be Forgotten in 1986.
Never heard of them.
Okay, and yep, they covered Mony Mony, and it got to 38 in the UK charts. In New Zealand, it got to number 9.
Oh boy, number 9 in New Zealand. Oh,
I think we might have to do a retrospective of Amazulu.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe if nothing comes out for the next 14 months, we'll see.
There's 2. They have 2 albums in their catalog, Robert. We can handle this. I swear.
What are we gonna make it like a double header or something? Are we just going to make that like the pre-show or something? Are they the opening act?
I feel like the audience deserves a show on Amazulu.
Of course, everybody deserves a show on Amazulu. Even if the only people that know that Amazulu exists are the people that were in Amazulu.
The show should just be called the Metal Tangent of Doom. Considering how many rabbit holes I can go down, especially when I'm tired. All right, this is track 8. This is called Callista Flockhart. That song was about the Callista Flockhart character in the new Supergirl television show on CBS.
I was just entertaining her. Like, yeah, this is Callista Flockhart. I'm like, oh, God. And the show got that far, and if we officially just hit the bedrock, we've been digging in for obscure references that hard. You were like, all right, here's Callista Flockhart. And that was a really fun song, too. I really enjoyed that.
I like the song. I'm really not making fun of the song. It's just, it's late and I don't feel like reading the entire title in Finnish.
You just couldn't finish the job, I see. It was such a shitty pun.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
George Carlin did a whole bit about that, about how like not pulling out, pulling out is not manly, so we should leave it in there and finish the job. Of course, he was referring to Vietnam.
Ooh. Damn, George Carlin, playing him.
Yeah, I mean, not that he didn't support the war in Vietnam. He was making fun of the U.S. military and the government.
Oh yeah.
All right.
God love him. Reminds me of that scene from that 70s show where it's like, oh, what about Vietnam? Oh, we didn't lose that war. It was a tie.
All right. This is track 9. This is Amenhotep. sense from that song that it was kind of like a Finnish rap song. Like I kept picturing the guys from Korpiklaani wearing gold chains, clocks, and Kangos.
Oh God, I'm imagining that. What the hell? All those dreadlocks.
It felt like a Finnish rap song, like an old school Finnish rap song.
Old school Finnish rap song? That's implying that there was that there's a new school.
I'm sure somewhere in Finland someone's rapping, maybe on a street corner somewhere.
I'm sure. If only it were Snow, that Canadian rapper that did Informer. Boom boom down, and there we go. I love the name drop Snow whenever it snows around here, so that I can just watch all the people frown at me as they're like, "Oh, I forgot that guy existed." There. It wasn't this song Jesse Starcher's favorite song? That one right there.
Jesse thought that was the jam, and he's not wrong. It's a good song. I just like that, and I'm picturing like the guys from NWA playing the accordion.
You with Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
To Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube.
Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Fat Albert.
What a super.
With mush.
By the way, did I tell you what we're doing in August?
With mush mouth on vocals.
Fuck the whole. Did I tell you what we're doing in August on the Metal Hammer of Doom?
No.
We are doing we're going in the Wayback Machine, and we're doing an old album review, Straight Outta Compton by NWA. And we're doing that the week that we're going to be reviewing Straight Outta Compton, the movie.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, synergy. Don't you understand?
Yeah. Nothing says metal like NWA. So on the WrestleCast, that means you're going to have to review a whole bunch of NWA matches, right?
Yeah. I'm just going to stick with Abdul the Butcher versus Brodus Clay, or whatever the hell his name was that he had a big feud with.
Oh, God. Don't tell me that's a thing now.
No, Willie wasn't Brodus Clay. Abdul the Butcher and was it Haystacks Calhoun? No. Something. It was something Brody.
Bruiser Brody?
Bruiser Brody, yes.
Bruiser Brody, the man who got stabbed in a Puerto Rican shower and nobody fessed up to it.
Nothing of value was lost. All right, this is track 10. We're almost done. And then you can go to bed. Sen Varen Minikin Noita. That's the name of the song. Track 10. that's the last traditional track on here, and there's a bonus track that follows it. But in terms of like the leaving a final impression, I thought that was actually a really good song. A lot of these albums that we review tend to kind of die off at the end. I think they finished strong here. What did you think?
I think the song kind of sounded like when he was recording it in a really old van on a really shitty Pennsylvania road. I don't know. It just kind of felt like they kept hitting potholes every 10 seconds. It was really funny. But otherwise, yeah, this is a pretty fun song. I like the back half of this album a little more than the front half, which, I mean, not saying that much. I like both halves fine. But I think like a lot of my favorite songs are there. Like those last three traditional songs, tracks 8, 9, and 10 are really good. I feel like they're the strongest ones on the album, personally.
Jesse just sent me a hip-hop comic for NWA Week on the Radulich Broadcasting Network.
Oh, God.
Hip Hop Family Tree, 1975 to 1983 gift box set.
See, here I was hoping all we would do is just review Mr. T and the T-Force. That was fun. That was a fun comic. It's a crack, baby. Ooh.
Oh. However long his whatever I missed my opportunity to debut on source material, so I got to go back. And there's really only one comic story I know well enough to converse about, and that's Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. So he needs to have me on for that at some point. But in the meantime, let's wrap this up. We got one more song left. This is Korpiklaani, track 11, the bonus track. This is Antaja. So that was Noita by Korpiklaani. I would give this a solid B+, maybe even an A-. It was definitely a fun album to listen to. I kind of miss some of the old Korpiklaani, some the stuff that was in English and the stuff that was the stuff that was about booze and all of that. He's now sending me NWA and Ice Cube Rock and Roll Comics number 40. All right, that's the one you're doing then. Read it, talk about it, go. Get Ben Cologne the draw title card. Get to work, Ben.
Yeah. You'll have enough work in
anyway,
life.
My final review of this Korpiklaani album is it's pretty good. I don't have a major problem with it. It's a fun listen. I think it's been one of the better ones we've done this year so far. I don't have much more to say about it because when it's all other than Mony Mony, nothing else really stood out to me.
I'd give it like a B-ish, B- maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's a fine album. It's Korpiklaani. That's what you're signing up for. So those last three tracks were really strong. There's a few maybe standout tracks there towards the beginning, but those last three really caught me really well. And, of course, Mony Mony, because that was hilarious.
Yes. All right. So next week, on the Long Road to Ruin, next Thursday, a week from tonight, we will be reviewing the Mad Max trilogy, and the day before that, Robert Winfrey and I will be reviewing Fury Road, the new Mad Max movie with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. That's what we got going on there. Robert, what do you got going on? Anything?
Well, let's see. There's a cooperative multiplayer podcast on Spreaker.com. I think it's the co-op multi-page on Spreaker.com. It's Sean Garber, Mark Morrison, and I show up once in a while. They kind of moved to Monday afternoons, so yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't going to be able to show up Saturday nights because for the longest time I was working Friday night and Saturday night. So yeah, but now I'm not working Saturday night. So, but it's just weird. But I'll show up on there eventually. It's all about video games. And, of course, their contestants are Happy Go Fun Time Japanese podcast. I'll be back eventually. I actually just bought an old laptop from my buddy Hunter, so maybe we'll be reviewing some things soon. I get some free time and some recording software on this, which that should be easy. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's really I got all from me. Go support your local metal bands and go watch some Todd Albert.
All right. Tune in 2 weeks. We'll be reviewing the new Faith No More, then the new Unleashed, and then the big hit of the summer, the new White Snake. I should have uploaded Here I Go again. It's the greatest song ever written. But instead, we'll go with the second greatest song ever written. Here it is, folks. Mony Mony, covered in Finnish for a second time. Be well, be safe, and behave.